Well, so I'll mention that quickly. I do think there was one other business I bought that I actually think your listeners would really find interesting, because
Yeah.
it's something that I think I made a huge mistake on, and we actually turned it around since, and it's been really profitable since. But I can kind of let you know about that too.
Let's dive in. That's awesome.
All right, so basically we bought a digital product business. It's all in like a photography space. And so they let people like customize their photos, add like video enhancements, like all this kind of stuff, right? The digital products in my side, I was like, okay, we have 100% margins. This guy built the website. It looks beautiful. He's got really high converting ads right now. But again, this is kind of coming off the win from the tiny house stuff where like we found instant improvements. I think the one thing I would tell anyone who's looking to go and buy a business is like, make sure that you understand what you're buying. And so when we bought this tiny house blog, we weren't paying for like, the writers. It didn't come with any writers. Like we were paying for the search results, right? They're already ranked for a ton of content and had reoccurring cash flow from this media stuff, from all the advertisements over the past like 5 years. So that was really confident. And we bought an email list is really what we ended up buying, right? And so I think we had a 36,000 person email list, and we had good Google indexing on top of like, a couple articles in the backlog, things like that. Now, when I bought this digital product business, here's actually how the deal came to be. The guy also posted in Trends. He's like, hey, I'm working on this thing. Like, anyone know anything about this? I hit him up. I was like, hey, I've done e-commerce. Like, what are you working on? And he's like, oh, I'm working on this, like, digital product business. Like any interest at all in like buying it? I was like, actually, yeah, like I'd buy it from you. Like, what, you built the website, you have the products all set, you have the ad set. Like, yeah, I would buy this from you. And he's like, okay, it's gonna be like $7,000. And I was like, cool. And then he's like, actually, I changed my mind. Like, I want to go and run this thing for a month or two, and then I'll get back to you if I still want to sell it. I was like, okay, go for it. He came back. He's like, dude, I scaled this thing up. I made some awesome ads for this, and I'm running Facebook ads right now. Like, check this out. We have, I think it was like $5,000 in profit or something like that a month. And like we did that in the first month alone. Like, I think this thing's going to be huge. He was like, would you still be interested in buying it? I was like, like sneaky. Like, now you have like a multiple that you kind of base it off of, but like you have 30 days in sales. I was like, sure. Like, what do you want from it now? And I think he wanted to do like a year's worth of sales or something like that. Or sorry, not a year's worth of sales. He wanted to take the profit he earned from that month times it by 12. So he wanted like 60 or something. I think it was something around that ballpark. And I was like, no. I was like,
history.
Yeah. I was like, I will give you, and I think at this point, like, again, I didn't really know, but I was like, the thing seems to be working really well. I think I gave him like a 4 or 5x monthly profit multiple. So I think we bought the thing for like 20 something grand or whatever, roughly. Again, still on the lower scale, but somewhere in that range. And he was like, yeah, cool, I'll do that. I was like, okay, cool. So we ended up, doing the same thing, escrow, signed a bill of sale, all that kind of stuff. And I took it, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, cool, this thing's cash flowing. I'm actually not going to pay attention to it as much. But what I realized is that when I bought it, what I was really buying was I was buying a winning ad is really what I just paid for, right? Because a winning ad and a functional website, because in reality, he had no email list that I could go and continue reselling to. He had a couple customers from selling the $5,000 in profit, but no real email list. The website wasn't ranking for anything. I bought a winning ad and I bought a website. And so what I totally made a mistake on is I bought it in like May. That summer, I didn't spend a ton of time trying to optimize things. Like, my background's not in Facebook ads and stuff. So I didn't do that great of a job. And I saw revenue dip and dip and dip and dip month over month. And it got to the point where I was like, in October and November, I was like, damn, like, we're still making profit every month, but nowhere near like what we were making before. And so I ended up bringing in one of our buddies who's running an e-commerce store. And I was like, hey, like, we own this asset. I think it can be big. You're like really good at Facebook ads, and you're really good at going and optimizing a bunch of landing pages and all that kind of stuff. Like, is there anything that you think that you can kind of do for this business right now? He's like, yeah, like I'll work on it. And so we wrote up a structure where basically, like, as sales grow, whatever the trailing 3 months average is, that'll go in and properly incentivize him to go and get more equity in the company. I told him, I was like, dude, here's what we bought it for. Like, here's what we want to go and sell it for. Scale this thing out for the next 12 months. And we'll go and do a profit share with you based on whatever equity you have at the time. And then when we go and sell the thing, we'll split it a third. And he was like, yeah, that works for me. And since then, he's turned it around completely. We're doing more in profit now than we were doing when we originally bought the business. And I quickly realized, like, damn, hire operators and just give them the right incentives, and they will absolutely take the ball and run with it. So it's turned around since, but I quickly realized, like, just know what you're buying and know what skills and value adds you can really bring to the table.